I say good morning to the world out there. The morning out there. Oh, I say good morning out there. I woke up this morning with a smile on my face. I woke up this morning with a smile on my face. Good morning to the world out there. Arise, Africa. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Rise, Africa, and I write this song. I write this song to you. I write this song to you. I say good morning to the world out there. Oh, oh. Say good morning to the world out there. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, oh, oh, oh. Oh, yeah, yeah. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day.
Wow. And on that musical note, we start Arise Africa. It's bound to be an exciting show. He is Collins Kemboy.
Sup?
Yes, we are going to be having him later on the show, but thank you for starting Arise Africa with us on a musical note. We just cleared out with the aerobic series. I hope you've gotten the workout this morning. And now we are going to move to the rest of the programming, and we start. Remember, we are live from the aviation studios in Nairobi. This is Arise Africa. My name is Michael Mwikamba, and today is going to be full of surprises, so remember to stay tuned. We are going to be having our catch-up, our business manager, an interesting twist in the show that you cannot predict, but then we are going to definitely be having music later in the day. And if you know, right now, if you got any question for him, we're going to be having music, so you can start talking to him. Our lines, remember, Aviation TV Kenya on Facebook, at Aviation TV Kenya on Twitter, hashtag Arise Africa. And this morning, I woke up with a bad case of cold flu, so if you hear funny things, remember, it's just one of those days. Yes? Remember, my name is Michael Mwikamba. We take, a short healthy tip, and I come back with the catch-up. Welcome back to Arise Africa. We're just starting us off, and this is the catch-up. This week, we've been talking a lot about Ebola and how it's ruining West Africa and how it has taken as a pandemic in West Africa. This week, I did stories, about Ebola, telling you how it has moved to Sierra Leone. It has led to drastic measures like KQ cancelling the flights to Kenya Airways and the airport authorities cancelling air flights going to West Africa, but it has been causing a lot of panic, a lot of turmoil, especially in Kenya where it's happening, where it's bound to cause fears because people are wondering, will this Ebola be around? So we went on the street yesterday and we asked some of your opinions, and this is what some of the Kenyans had to say out there about Ebola. Check this out.
My name is Judy. Ebola, we're kind of fearing it because in Liberia already the situation is getting out of hand. So if it comes to Kenya, we're not so sure we'll be able to handle it. And it's already spreading to Nigeria, so it's coming down. And it was in Uganda the other day. So we're not quite sure if it's going to come, but it's a situation we don't want to deal with right now.
My name is Patrick. What I know about Ebola is that from what I hear and what I've learned from it is that first, the Kenyan government was initially a little bit more reluctant in curbing the mess because before the planes from the West African region, Kenyans were still flying. Kenya KQ was still flying to the Western region, and it had to take more drastic measures for the government to stop flights from West Africa, which was done yesterday by the government. But then again, I feel that is not more from what the government is supposed to do, in that there's still other visitors who come to Kenya via other international airports. But what they need to do is just they need to strengthen the point of entry, in whereby every person or any citizen that is coming through the Kenyan borders, there should be proper screening measures for anybody that is coming into the country to make sure that the disease doesn't come in the country. Yeah, the fears are always there. The Kenyan government, if it doesn't do enough in terms of providing that buffer zone of what from what the disease in terms of the disease not coming into Kenya, then the fear is there. People move around every single day. You can't stop anyone from moving anywhere. You can't stop the other citizens from other country to come to come into Kenya. Then the fear is there. The fear is there. But what we need to do is just to make sure that the point of entry that I said earlier that are strengthened so that nobody comes into the country without proper screening. And that is already done within the point of entry, like in KQ. If you go to Mombasa International Airport and JKA are doing enough to make sure that the people who are coming in through from West Africa and other countries are screened before they gain access into the country.
My name is Eunice, and I don't think Kenyans should be so scared of Ebola coming to the country, because we are doing the best that we can to make sure that it doesn't enter into the country. So people should stop being paranoid. It's not going to come. As much as in Liberia it's out of hand, but as long as it's not in Kenya, we should be happy about it. Yeah.
Kwa majina naitwa Daniel Mwanzia, na mimi ugonjwa wa Ebola unaniogopesha sana, kwa sababu hata kama ndege haziendi huko vile walivyozisimamisha, watu wanaweza kusafiri kwa basi kwa sababu mabasi bado yanatembea. Na mimi nahofia sana, serikali lazima iangalie kabisa kwamba ina screen wageni wote wale wanakuja kutoka West Africa.
Mimi naitwa Livingston, na mambo ya Ebola nafikiri Uganda ilianzia kwanza. Uganda hiyo ndio common ambayo tumesikia, na isikuja hapa Kenya because it affect watu wengi. Tu mtu akikuja Kenya inafaa wajue ya kwamba asiingie kwa mpaka kabla hujampima. 3 mtu akikuja hapa Kenya inafaa rudi back Uganda, kama ako nayo tumshike, ndipo that isiambukisha hapa, ama asema ameambukisha mtu fulani ndio tumtibu haraka. Na mostly watu wasizaane. That is the point. Watu wasizaane, kwa sababu mkizaana ndio Ebola itapatikana. Ama tuna kitu kingine? Hakuna. Watu wasizaane, kwa sababu saa hizi generation ya wanawake ni wengi sana kuliko wanaume. Na sasa wanawake wameanza kutongoza wanaume. Sasa unaweza pata Mganda ametoka huko, na tunajua Waganda wanakuanga wa good sana kwa mambo ya sex. So watu wa Kenya wanakimbilia vitu kama hizo, na ndio wanapata Ebola. So mambo ya kutoka huko another country, tusiingiane na vitu kama hizo, na tukae tuna amani, na watu wengine wasikuja hapa Kenya maybe kutoka another country, the way I'm saying. The NB watu wasizaane.
I'm Melissa, and the issue concerning Ebola, I think Ebola is becoming a terrific disease in the worldwide Africa, and maybe Kenya is at large risk. Now that it's already in Nigeria, I feel that maybe we are the next victim. So our government should take measures, and the citizens at all should also take risk.
My name is Dominic Nzango. Yes, according to my view about the Ebola, I can say that this is a very serious disease, and the Kenya government should take a serious matter on that so as to prevent it, because prevention is better than cure. Because I can see that it is true that if this disease is not going to be prevented, then it will leave most of the people being sad and sorrowful. This is because this disease, when it strikes a region, it leaves that region with a question mark. Yes, that is my views. Thank you.
So those were the different opinions about Ebola that people had in the streets yesterday as we talked to them. But what do you feel about Ebola? You can get conversational. Remember, on Facebook, Aviation TV Kenya, hashtag Arise Africa. On Twitter, at Aviation TV Kenya, hashtag Arise Africa. Get the conversation going. What's your opinion about Ebola, and what do you think should be done? Tell us what you think on our online lines, Aviation TV Kenya on Facebook, at Aviation TV Kenya on Twitter. Remember, Ebola has been causing a lot of stories this week, because even recently you have the UN wants to raise up to $18 million to try battle Ebola in Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and West Africa in general. Remember, the other day it was in Rwanda. So there's a lot of stories, hidden, mixed reactions. The Kenyans are showing you the different views that we actually do with Ebola. So it's so many different reactions, KQ canceled their flights recently to Rwanda, to West Africa. Just generally, there's a lot of panic around Kenya. What do you think about it? You can get conversational. This is Arise Africa. Remember, my name is Michael Mwikamba, and can just get the conversation going. And moving on to the rest of the programming, we are going to go to our motivational segment, get inspired. But when I come back, we come back with the business roundup. You can never cross the ocean until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. That's a quote by Christopher Columbus, giving us our quote of the day. And now, moving on to our business segment, we have an interesting twist. Remember, we have our series of Business Mwananchi, where we have to tell a story about the businessmen around town. We visited a man, Patrick Maingi. He deals with LED light, and in his shop, he gave us a lot of insights about his business, the story behind it, what makes it tick, how does he do it? We go on Business Mwananchi, but then when we come back, we have more discussions on that.
My name is Patrick Maingi, and I do a business of lighting systems. My main focus in lighting is LED lighting. Is a new technology. Being a new technology, I deal with this kind of technology because I know it is power saving. Once you use the LED lighting, you'll be saving power for long term. We like comparing ourselves from the normal lightings, which whereby for example, if you are to compare a bulb of 5 watts compared to the normal bulb of about 100 watts. So if you replace the two, you see the difference, and you'll be able to save about 95% of the power used. When we go to the outside lighting, I normally focus on LED lighting, which ranges from between 10 watts going up to 150 watts. What I mean here is that the normal lighting we have in the market ranges from between 250 going all the way to about 1,000 watts. So with the current market, these powers, the power, the electricity is going up, and when you use LED lighting, you really save a lot of money. Because here we are saying that comparing a 50 watts LED lamp with 1,000 watts LED floodlights. So I would advise Kenyans to change to this new technology, and I believe once you change, you'll be saving, because again, the kind of lightings I'm using are environmental friendly, being that the kind of materials used, they won't interfere with the ozone layer, which I know of late in the world we are trying to fight saving the environment. So that's why I actually decided to focus on this kind of lighting, and I came up with a business name. The business name is called Partner Investment, and this business, it's not just an idea which came from me after traveling out of the country. I saw in the developed country, I went to China, and I realized that this new technology is doing very well in China. All the kind of lightings used there is new technology, LED lighting, and I decided to try it here in Kenya. Right now it's about 2 years. 2 years from 2011. It was not easy starting in 2011 because being a new technology, and again, it's not, I would say not very cheap compared to the normal lighting systems. So, but now I would say that the market has really accepted, and we're able to make good sales currently. Actually, my background is insurance industry. And insurance, you don't sit in an office and sell. So I use the same concept, walking into shops, selling. Yes, I have somebody to help me in the shop, but mostly I do my own marketing. I have a background in marketing. I've done CIM, this Chartered Institute of Marketing. So I also try to use the same concept, the concept learned in marketing, in doing my business. My business is doing well right now. The Kenyan people, since as you know, electricity is really going up. So that to me is an advantage. So I'm able to sell these light saving energy, these bulbs and these, what do you call them, the floodlights. So the Kenyan market is accepting it. First, come and buy from me so that you can know. As you know, when new technology comes in, people try to fake. Especially right now, we have products which are not original products. So you may buy thinking that you are saving money. You may buy cheap, but at the long run, cheap becomes expensive. So before you buy, please make sure that you know what you are buying. Ensure that what you have ordered for is what you have been given. If you have ordered for a 50 watts LED floodlight, ensure that it is 50 watts, because what we are getting in the market is maybe you're getting like 20 watts, just a name which is written there saying it's 50 watts. From my shop, because it is the business I'm venturing in, I will ensure that I give you what you have ordered. Right now, the biggest challenge I have is capital to supply the market. And because when I started, it has not peaked. But now it has peaked. I have many customers. So the challenge right now is to supply the market. Yes, that is one. Again, the area I'm operating in, mostly customers don't pay cash. They believe in paying in bits. So if you are not ready for that, it can also be a very big charge, and it can actually bring you down. Yes. Again, competition. Competition will always be there. Right now, the competition with people with a lot of money is coming up, but I'm not scared. I'm prepared. I'm able to understand the trade. Like now, when these bulbs maybe get banned, the replacement, many customers who are coming up, many actually people coming to sell don't have the replacements. I have the replacements. I can personally do it. My assistant can also replace if there is a problem with the lights you buy.
Welcome back. That was a very interactive chat with Patrick Maingi, the director to Partnell Investment Systems. He gave us a little bit about LED and told us what he deals with and the interesting ways it helps conserve the environment, you know, and a lot of things. He let us learn about his business. He also gave us his story, the way he is working under another company. Then he's decided to do his own entrepreneurship kind of business, which is all about Arise Africa this morning. You've heard what he has about LED, and what do you think they help conserve the environment? What are your opinions? You can remember, tell me on my show, Arise Africa on Facebook, at Arise Africa hashtag on Facebook, on Aviation TV Kenya. The links are on the scroll. Aviation TV Kenya on Twitter, at Aviation TV Kenya on Twitter, Aviation TV Kenya on Twitter, hashtag Arise Africa. Start the conversation going. That was Patrick Maingi, and telling us so much more about his LED lighting and how it helps conserve the environment. How does that benefit Africa? Benefits a lot, right? Yes, so we go for our quote of the day, then we come back with the inspirational moment, that clip that gets you motivated every day, and so much more after Rise Africa resumes.
When you know within yourself that there's something you want to do, and I believe that all of us were born with a purpose, that all of us have something that we are supposed to do, that all of us have some goodness within us, and that goodness gives us a responsibility to manifest our greatness. Not only is it possible for you to have your dream, but it's necessary. It's necessary that you have it, that you work on it, that you develop yourself, that you go for what is yours in the universe.
Every single day when you wake up, you better be spending time on your dreams. You better be spending time on you ain't got time to waste. It is a sense of urgency.
It's a character of who you are. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines the success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, and it's raining, when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time.
And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. I don't owe you a dime. It's your dream. If you want it to happen, get your butt up and make it happen. If you want it to happen, rise and grind.
That if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it. And if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after this thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want.
And the title of 2013, three-time Mr. Olympia, Phil Heath.
Now that's that thing called life, is that it is always changing. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down.
I can tell you that now. Be aware of that. Things are not going to work out exactly right. For a time they will, sometimes. And that's when life is just playing a game with you.
I don't want to play anymore.
I don't care how good you are, I don't care how talented you are, I don't care how much you work on yourself. There are some times when things aren't going to go right. They just are not going to go right. There are times when anything that can happen will happen. But during those down moments, that's where the growth takes place. That's where the work is. See, anybody can feel good when they have their health, their bills are paid, they have happy relationships. Anybody could be positive then. Anybody can have a larger vision then. Anybody can have faith under those kinds of circumstances. See, but the real challenge of growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, comes when you get knocked down.
And some of you in your life, the reason why you're not blowing up, the reason why you're not successful, you have not learned to pass. You think just because it's an opportunity, it's for you. And not every opportunity is for you.
All of us have experienced some tragedy, and if we haven't, we will. And you can either let it destroy your life, or you can build upon it. You can permit it to let it hold you down, or you can decide, I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm bigger than this. It's not going to be easy. When you want to change, it's not easy. If it were in fact easy, everybody would do it. But if you're serious, you'll go all out.
We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up?
Forgive and grow.
You're about to separate yourself from the pack, and you're about to be on top.
If you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me.
It's not your circumstances or your situation that determines if you're going to be successful or not. I've been telling you, it's your mindset. It's the way you see it. It's the way you think it.
Your mind is a battleground. Touch somebody and tell them the enemy's after your mind. Out to worry you to death. Out to stress you to death. Out to break you down. Out to make you quit. Out to make you think that you can't get up. Out to make you give up on your dream. The warfare is in your mind. It's not in your checkbook. It's not in your savings account. It's not on your job. The fight that you got to fight is in your mind. And if you whip it in your head, you can whip it in your checkbook. You can whip it on your job. You can whip it out of your children. But you got to drive it out of your head.
I'm coming back. And I'll be stronger and better because of it. You have got to make a declaration that this is what you stand for. Standing up for peace of mind. You're standing up for health. You're standing up for your dream. You want it. And you're going to go all out to have it. Let it go and begin to focus on developing myself. And I say to you, you're going to have people to do things to you. Things are going to happen to you. And the most important thing to do is to harness your will and let it go. And move so you can grow. So you can get on with your life. It doesn't matter about what happens to you. What matters is, what are you going to do about it?
When you want something bad, you can't count the cost. Because if you count the cost and you see how much it costs, you might quit. You might give up. So you got to go in knowing that I don't count the cost. I do as many push-ups as it takes, as many sit-ups as it takes, as many reps as it takes. I study as long as it takes. I pay whatever the price is. Why? Because if I start counting the cost, I might quit. I might give up. I might surrender. Don't count the cost. You don't count the cost on this one. You don't count how many breaths you take. You don't count it. You get to a point when you don't count it. You just do whatever it takes to get whatever you want.
Don't stop
Stay busy. Work your plan. Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation.
Once you make a decision and you go all in and you say, I ain't quitting till I get there, I ain't giving up, I ain't giving in, I'll do whatever it takes to be successful. And when you make that decision, when you look you in the mirror, when you tell yourself that, look, I'm through, I'll do whatever it takes, I guarantee you, that's the that begins to happen. Forget about your past. Forget what happened back in the day. Make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Welcome back to Arise Africa. Remember, my name is Michael Mwikamba, and that's the inspirational moment of the day. Have you ever gotten to that point where you are at the brink of losing yourself, you're at the brink of losing your nerve because life is pushing you too hard, because you feel like everything is not going to place, because you feel like, oh my God, I'm losing myself with this? Have you ever gotten to that point, that motivation? Did it help you, give you that drive, give you that push? No matter how life beats you down, you can always find the courage to pick yourselves up. You remember there was a quote in there that says, I've lost, but I've won. It was lost, ellipsis dots, then won. Lost, but won. Giving you a sense of winning, even if you feel like life is giving you, bitter lemons. I usually crack this joke. When life hands you lemons, you make good music with it. That's like the best part. If you do music, you will know what I'm talking about. And today, on our motivational, inspirational moment rather, we've given a lot of that talk was all about hard work versus skills. How much of your ability, how much of your achievement is due to hard work? Somebody has always told me, a very close friend of mine has told me that hard work is 90%, 10% skill. 10% skill. Hard work is 90%. Because you've always have to learn, have to give your pressure, beat yourself down, give yourself pressure so that you can achieve. Hard work is always 90%, skill 10%. That's like the best way you can do this. But that was just to give us motivation for the day. This is Arise Africa. You can actually start a conversation and tell me, what do you feel like life has given to you that you feel you need to vent out, and you feel like life is giving you just too much? What do you feel? You can text me on a line, hashtag Arise Africa. Just tell me, tell Mike anything. You can put hashtag tell Mike, hashtag Arise Africa. Whatever you feel like life is weighing you down, and we can discuss it next time, on Arise Africa, because we are all about that life. Arise Africa is all about that life. Renewing itself every day, giving itself psych every day, and we move on to, our safety tips, where Napo, now this character Napo always gives me a run for the day. He just gives me inspiration for the day. Yesterday he talked about safety at work and when stress strikes. Today we're going to be talking about him on the road and what you need to take precautions when you're on the road. We go on safety tips with Napo. But when we come back, more of surprises and more of Arise Africa. Keep it Arise Africa. My name is Michael Mwikamba. We go on Napo safety tips. welcome back to Arise Africa. Napo always gives me a good laugh. He has a way of illustrating very important stuff with very hilarious illustrations. Napo, remember, he's been sending us this, these tips for our healthy tips segment. We thank you very much, Napo, for sending your animations, which is really interesting for Arise Africa. That is how you need to be on the road. Remember, when you're having your motorcycle, there are a lot of tragedies because of not wearing a helmet, not taking care of yourself, not putting a good guard before you go, not putting a reflector. A lot of things about, when going on the road that you might need a helmet, goggles for your eyes because the wind might actually tamper with your cornea and dry your eyelids. You just need a lot of protection. Remember, my name is Michael Mwikamba, and get conversational on I can't pressure this enough. Get conversational on Facebook, Aviation TV Kenya, on Facebook, #Arise Africa, at Aviation TV Kenya, on Twitter, #Arise Africa. So right now, the reason for my cold, we're going to check the weather out there. Is it really as cold like I left it in the morning? Checking the weather out there. Wow, that is Nairobi today. It's almost 8 a.m. and it looks that dark. That's how the city is. You can see that's the build, that must be NHIF. It's very foggy from there. You can see the horizon. You can't even see the sun. You can't tell it's during the day. You might think it's a 6 in the morning. That is Status Road. That must be Mamlaka Road, a view from here. When you see lower Status Road, the weather looks foggy and cold out there. So remember to keep warm. I'll remember to layer today because after this I'm totally going to layer and put on clothes to keep myself warm. This is what you're supposed to do. That is the weather update from Nairobi. If we can, give it a good pan, you can see from the horizon. It's very dark up there. You can't even see Upper Hill anymore. You can't see Upper Hill anymore. That is Nairobi, our live feed. Wow, that is Inonda with the camera giving us a good pan of Nairobi. You can see that must be University of Nairobi. I'm seeing it there on my screen. That must be the University of Nairobi area. That is Lower Status Road and Status Avenue and Nyerere Road. That's just about the area around there. And it's pretty dark and so cold out there. I fear for those guys out there. Make sure you are warm today. Have a trench coat or something, a scarf, gloves, a hoodie. Just have something on. It's very cold out there. You're seeing more panning to the right. Yes, that's the side, almost going to the road leading to Westlands, Waiyaki Way. We're almost getting there. That is a good pan. It's so dark you can't even tell the screen. Can you recognize the town on your screen? Yes, that is Waiyaki Way. That must be YMCA area in Nairobi from View Park Towers. We're giving you that feed live from View Park Towers with my expert cameraman Inonda out there, braving the cold so that you can get live feed for the weather. That's how awesome Arise Africa is. Remember to keep us conversational. Is the weather at your place as cold? Just tell us on our lines on our screen. But then that is our weather for the day. It is very chilly. You've had our safety tip for the day. I'm not cold in here because the room is well air conditioned. That's how good our studios are. Now we're going on our health tip. If you missed our health tip today, we were talking about the apple and its benefits. Just remember to check this out and remember what other fruits, what other vegetables you feel like you have at our home and your home rather, and you feel like we can mention it on our healthy tip. We'll always be keeping you updated with healthy tips. So now we go on healthy tips, and when we come back, we take a short break. That is a long break, but when we come back, we have our guest for the day. We have a musician, people. Keep it locked, keep it Arise Africa. Have your questions ready for him. My name is Michael Mwikamba. So welcome back to Arise Africa. That was our safety tip for the day. It's an apple. And you can remember, if all of you can remember that expression, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. You can tell what you're talking about. It's so healthy because it helps you with your weight, helps with the cholesterol level. It just helps you with so many things. It beats diabetes and so many things that you cannot even fit in that scroll of yours. You can just check it out and see what apples are all about, and they're very healthy fruits. Arise Africa is all about educating and informing and giving you a good arise, so that you can wake up and comfortably, you know, have the day. So I am your host, Michael Mwikamba. I can't pressure that enough. And you know, on social media, there's a lot of activity. B4C, I see you. Thank you for always keeping my page active. I see you giving me shout outs. I see you. And today I say I'm going to give you a shout out back. So B4C, thank you for always keeping our chats ready. And so many other people that I'll get the names later. Some are very hard to pronounce. But then you're keeping me updated on Facebook. You're keeping me updated on Twitter. And tell me what you need, because I'm here for you guys. I'm here for you. So tell me what you need, and I will be sure to give it back to you on Arise Africa. So right now, we go on the do-it-yourself, and this week we decided to go on the streets and ask guys how to tell me and show you how to tie a tie. We met up with this lady, and she told me, you know, how to tie a tie. A lot of people couldn't tie a tie, actually. It's funny how you couldn't tie a tie. You can't remember these things from way back in high school. It's so easy. So we go on a do-it-yourself, and to encourage you that you can also tie your own tie. Don't ask me where my tie is. I'm just not all about that life. But then, tying a tie.
Start. Okay, the first step is to overlap it, and then you turn it this way. You put it inside, and then you turn it again, and then you put it inside. After putting, you insert in between the and then it's good to go.
So can I wear this?
Yes, sure you can.
Can make it tighter.
You try.
It's going to fit my gigantic head. Is it straight?
Not yet.
So this is how you fix a tie. So now you know. For your do-it-yourself from the streets, I've been joined by
Faith Elkana.
Yes, and Michael Mwikamba on the street. This is how you tie a tie, and now you know. That was so much fun yesterday on Do It Yourself. It was all about tying a tie. How do you tie your own tie? I was walking on the streets of Nairobi. I learned that there's so many different ways of tying a tie. There's the British way, which has a slant on the side, and there's that which I did yesterday, which is all Italian and American, that has that good bow. Faith Elkana was the lady who was illustrating tying a tie for there, and I was like, I can get used to this life now with all this tying and tie business. And if you don't know the steps, you know you can flip your tie. I wish I had my tie on today. You can flip your tie, do it a lap, then insert it. Yeah, and the steps you saw today, it's pretty easy. It doesn't take 1 minute to do it. It's so short, and you know it doesn't waste any time. So if you can learn how to do a tie, there's some things you have to do yourself. You don't have to wait for somebody to do it for you. That's all about do it yourself. You know, we are always about telling you new things that you need to do. I'm pretty sure tying a tie for some of you is pretty simple, but then for some of you, it's a tasking job. You feel like, oh my God, this is daunting work. I'm not going to do this tie business in the morning. I'm not going to do this tying a tie in the afternoon, and you feel like, oh my God, this is what I'm meant to do every day in my life. It's meant for people working in offices. No, you just have to look smart sometimes, and you know, stir people with your tie. Yes, that is Do It Yourself segment. We go on ad break, but when we come back, more of Arise Africa and more surprises for you. My name is Michael Mwikamba. Keep it locked.
At the Kenya Institute of Media and Technology, we are the gurus in the training of certificate and diploma in journalism, computer studies, business administration, hospitality management, travel and tourism management, clearing and forwarding, social work and community development, and electrical and electronics. Visit us at our head office at Mtihani House and Taveta Court, Nairobi. Kenya Institute of Media and Technology. Technology is power. Take your career to the skies with Nairobi Aviation College. 2014 intake is in progress for certificate and diploma courses in aeronautical engineering, airport operations, general aviation piloting, electrical and electronics engineering, computer science and IT, hotel and catering, travel and tourism, journalism and mass communication, business management, supplies management, community development, clearing and forwarding, secretarial, CPA and ATC programs. Visit our campuses in Meru, Nairobi, Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa, Eldoret and Kitale. Our courses are IATA approved. Nairobi Aviation College. Profession is power.
The boiling point mix.
Active Sounds DJ.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, this DJ is awesome.
Crossing over.
Activate.
Let go the wine, dance with Christ like a sun you want shine. Active sounds, them sister you want shine. Your biggest, baddest songs, they on the era.
Welcome back to Arise Africa. My name is Michael Mwikamba. For those who are just joining us, and this is Arise Africa. We've had a lot of segments. If you're just catching up with us now, we've had a lot of segments before the ad break. But now we meet my favorite segment of the day, where we get to get intimate with the guests for the day. And today, I told you I'm going to pull a surprise for you. I am having a singer, songwriter, and a performer on stage. I'm having Colin. He goes by the name Collins Kemboy, but then he's popularly known by the name Kolo. He is part of a band called Fee and the Band. And today, he just came alone to show us some of his intimate side. We get to meet him. Collins, karibu sana Rise Africa.
Thank you. I'm honored.
You're honored. Yeah, and for one thing you don't know about this guy, we go way back.
Yeah,
we go way back. Collins, how are you doing?
Good.
How is music taking you?
I cannot complain.
You can't complain? You're a little bit under the weather. Is it the weather?
No, I'm okay.
Did you see how I did that? A little bit under the weather. Is it the weather? I'm trying to be a boy.
That's why I'll send one.
We can have it on set after this. Do you want me to send for tea right now? Like we are having tea right now. Hey, don't worry, we are having tea. The struggle is real. Yeah. And you just have to chongoa me on my set like this.
We have to.
What are these? But then, karibu sana Rise Africa. If you can please tell us who Collins Kemboy is, and a brief introduction of yourself. Tell our viewers who Collins Kemboy is and a little bit about your story.
Collins Kemboy is a son, is a brother, is an uncle, is a niece, is a nephew. Sorry, I have a niece. I'm a singer, as you said, songwriter from Fee and the Band. It's PHY. It's not FEE. People confuse all the time. You can check us on Facebook, PHY and the Band. Yeah.
Yeah. So Collins, about your story. When did your musical journey start? Because you're a singer now, and I can see you're well prepared with your guitar. When did your musical journey start? How far back do you go in your musical life?
My music go back way as I can remember. I can say after baby class, that's top class they call it, I was in school choir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Without your teeth and all, because in baby class people don't have teeth.
Like
okay, end up with Tembea.
Imagine, I was in school choir all over going out. But I did not know what music was all about. I was just called, yeah, you sing, so go to the choir. I was like, cool, and then go home, tell my mom, I'm in the choir. So I did not understand then why she's excited. And now I
the impact of being in a choir. Can you say that your music growth started way back, like the first nurturing you did was when you were back in the choir?
Yeah, I can say that, and I was introduced to music by my big brother. We have an age bracket of about 10 years.
Wow.
So yeah, trust me, I knew Tupac Shakur and Julio before even I knew who Michael Jackson was. Yeah.
Wow. Tupac Shakur, Julio. That's a lot of hip hop and hip hop and R&B.
After that, and then came Swahili Nation. That is the best thing that has ever happened.
If you can please expound on that. Some of us are blondes when it comes to, I know Swahili Nation.
Yeah, you know.
Why do I have to embarrass myself on Arise Africa? The people did. Yes, it was the most popular song back in the day.
Yeah, it was really popular. It still is.
You are an old soul.
Yeah,
you know that?
Thanks to my bro. Thanks to my bro. Yeah, thanks to my.
Because I don't think you're that old to understand what Swahili Nation was singing at that day, because the song was all about Mpenzi Hakuna Matata. And it was a killer tune, especially in our country, in Kenya. It still is.
Still is, because Patricia Kihoro, if that's her name, did a rendition to that song.
Patricia Kihoro, she is fantastic.
Yeah, she killed it.
She killed it.
She killed it, trust me.
And, so Collins, you can tell us, when your brother was introducing you to music, was it like the typical, he listens to music so you get exposed to it and you get to learn it?
Yeah.
What kind of, how did he introduce you to music? Did he tell you, yo, Kolo, come, I want you to learn this, I want you to listen to this, I want you to learn this. How was he?
My big bro is like any other big brother all over the world, or maybe, who you keep distance. We used to keep distance. He was really strict, and like now we can just talk like, yeah, what's up, yeah, but not what's up. So he used to come home. We had this boombox, so my mom bought the boombox. So we used to have tapes. You remember the guys who can remember uneka tape line. Yeah, those days.
That goes way back.
Yeah.
I can remember we also had the Hammerstein and Great Old TVs that you used to have to tune. Thank God for digital world.
Thank God. iPod.
And
Steve Jobs.
And the iPod.
Steve Jobs, you are the best person ever.
Because it goes way back, and Swahili Nation are fantastic. Who else have you listened to that have given you the motivation to do what music you do now?
It's like you're asking me who's my favorite artist.
Yes. Your inspiration, your favorite artist, who, even if it's a group of people, even if it's a whole collage of artists, a mixture of different genres, just tell it to us.
That's a tricky question, brother. That's so tricky. I do not know why you asked me that. Because it's like I'll leave out some.
No, just mention the one you can feel, even if I'll have to feel
you have
this
to say
list.
Genre. You have to say genre.
So let me go genre by genre. In reggae.
In reggae. Romain Vago, Tessan Chin, and Tessan Chin and Christopher Martin.
Oh my God, I expected you to start with Bob Marley. Because in reggae,
Bob Marley is a legend, so we have to like have a gap in between those.
Oh, you can't compare.
We cannot compare Bob Marley with
Touché.
Touché.
And and R&B. You've told me to go genre by genre.
Yeah, R&B. The person I can relate to, the new kids in the block.
Start with old soul coming to the new people.
Michael Jackson, of course. That's a pop, yeah.
He also did some songs were R&B, but then most of them were popular hits.
Chris Brown, yeah, we go way back. Literally, we go way back.
Chris Brown.
Yeah, Chris Brown.
How do you go way back,
yeah,
you guy?
We go way back. Yeah.
And soul.
Soul is music, soul child, any day.
That guy he's a killer vocalist. And his songwriting, though,
is really, really cool. I love his music.
Yes, we've mentioned a lot of genres out there. We are coming back to Africa. Afropop?
Afropop, I can say Saudi soul. We have to go to Kenya. Yeah.
Yes, Saudi soul. You're busy now coming back local.
Yeah, we're coming
local. And which other local artists, even the ones that go back in the day, Eric Wainainas, like with those here? Yes. So which other artists in Kenya, give you that motivation to work hard in your craft?
I can say there are a lot of guys coming up, and let me mention the people who know, because we know all of us wako chini ya maji, chini ya Warriors. Antonio.
What is chini ya Warriors? You're confused.
Chini ya maji, and that's not my hashtag. My at Twitter. That's it's at Kolo PNTB.
Kolo PNTB.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry for that. It's at Kolo PNTB. We will make that correction. So tell us, Antonio Soul.
Antonio Soul and who else in Kenya? Heart, the band, Mordecai.
The new kids on the block, they're fantastic.
Mordecai is really, really good. And some, there is Sparrow. I do not know where she went. There's a chick called Sparrow, guys. Just to wait and say.
So, Sparrow. Oh, okay. There's a chick called Sparrow. She is fantastic. I've heard her sing live. But does she have anything out there?
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So, Collins, tell us more about Fee and the Band.
Fee and the Band is a 2-year-old band, almost 2 years old, and it's made up of 4 guys. Let me start mentioning names. There's the lady, and the only lady in the band. She's Fee. She's beautiful. She's amazing vocalist. Guys, if you know Fee, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Fee is really, really cool. She's awesome. Thank you. Love you. And there's the AKA called Abdi. Abdi. No, but it's not called Abdi. It's called Ken Orwa, AKA Bruno Mars. People call him Bruno Mars every time. And he's a cool. He's an instrumentalist. I'm not that good. He is.
Why are you putting yourself down? If you're fantastic, you're fantastic.
No, I'm not fantastic. I have met people. I have seen people
who inspire you
every day. You have to admit when you're not that good. You have to mention. I can just play some chords. But kuna wala say, you know what I'm talking about. Kuna wala say. Yeah, like I can mention Joshua Daniels.
Yes, people are getting shout-outs out there. They're watching.
Yeah, Joshua
they're
Daniels.
watching. People are getting shout-outs out there.
Yeah, and Sylvester Acoustic.
That's his stage name.
You have to look for Acoustic.
I will have to have him here.
You can just put them.
I don't know how I'll do that. I'll have to have him here.
Check him on YouTube. He's a finger stylist. Yeah, he plays really awesome stuff. And Joshua is not yet.
Yeah, so you were telling us about
Fee and the Band. And there's the last guy. You do not know him.
I'm trying to pretend that I don't know what you're about to say.
Yeah, he's called Michael Mwikamba.
He doesn't go by that name.
It's not this guy. Not him.
He doesn't go by that name.
He's called Ike.
But then you can
AKA
tell us.
Mr. Selfie. He has the deepest voice ever.
You can tell us more about your songwriting and just the things you do. What inspires your writing?
What inspires my writing is me taking a pen and.
No, you're just writing.
No, I don't do that. That's not my style of writing. Every day we get inspired whenever we walk, how we wake up. The first person you say hi to, unaenda kwa unapanda mat and then Concordia na kusumbua, ama someone just makes your day. You see, this is personally speaking, I experience things every day, and I kinda put them in my heart, and in my thoughts, and they just pen out. But I do not write. I just have the guitar and then start playing the chord, and then something just comes. And after I freestyle literally, I'm not bragging. I freestyle on my songs, and then I put them down into paper, and then just to make sense.
So you're a freestyler.
I'm a freestyler.
That's like the major form of how you write, how you come back with the creativity. Yeah. And you guys have to listen to this guy. He's really good. But then I didn't know you're so quiet.
No, I am.
You're so. How do you argue with people when they taunt you? Like when I start poking, I don't want to lose my teeth, so I'm not going to poke. Like for instance, when I start taunting you and poking, how do you? If I do tell them, yo, I am going to hit you.
No, I'm not going to.
Because it sounds so spoken. I was just curious. Those are just some of the random questions I just throw in there. And so, Collins, you can tell us, about your band and your writing. What materials do you write? You've told us what inspires you is just general life. But then what materials do you like? Because singers are either classified because they write love-related songs, because they write satirical songs, because they write peace campaign songs, because they write gospel songs, because they want to preach the gospel, and so many other genres, and people have different influences. So what really influences you?
What influences me most is let me talk about the band, because Fee and the band is made up of like the 4 guys, and our differences, we are so diverse, and that's one of the core and vital unifying factor of us. So we do different stuff, like Phyllis, she loves doing soul, the quiet songs, you know, having that spotlight. If you just have her on the gig, Mr. Bruno Mars, aka we call, he's just a funny guy. Ken Orwa is diverse too. We were so surprised that he loves reggae. We were so surprised, yeah. We were so surprised. He is diverse. Michael is, or Ike, we call him Ike. Ike, I'm yet to figure him out. I think he's diverse too, yeah. And Collins, yeah, me, I do anything. Yeah.
Yes, I can give you a description of yourself looking at you today. Collins is a silent person. I guess you only get freer when you do. Yeah, but then you're quiet today. That's all I'm saying, because that's what I'm judging. Because that's what. Oh, our cameras. Yeah. Don't be shy. There are only 1 million people watching you out there.
Only 1 million, friend. Hey.
Don't be shy, because
you know,
we're all.
I've been to radio station, but not a TV station.
Oh, really? Yeah. So this is your first time
on TV, but live. But I've been interviewed. I'm from the university just across the.
You just had to say that.
Yeah, from the capital THE. Yeah,
from the university. Yeah. You know, I'm getting to know you, and I'm loving what I'm knowing about you. So I think right now we're just going to go on a short commercial break so that we can go for my coffee that you've decided to demand for us. So we are going on ad break, but when we come back, we have more questions on with Collins. Remember, we are having him on studio. Aviation TV Kenya on Twitter at Aviation TV Kenya, Aviation TV Kenya on Facebook, #Arise Africa. Ask him any question you feel like. Do you feel like asking me if he is dating? Well, go ahead, ask him. If you feel like asking him what the story behind his locks, go ahead and ask him. We're all about that life. Keep it Arise Africa. We are going on an ad break.
At the Kenya Institute of Media and Technology, we are the gurus in the training of certificate and diploma in journalism, computer studies, business administration, hospitality management, travel and tourism management, clearing and forwarding, social work and community development, and electrical and electronics. Visit us at our head office at Mtihani House and Taveta Court, Nairobi. Kenya Institute of Media and Technology. Technology is power. Take your career to the skies with Nairobi Aviation College. 2014 intake is in progress for certificate and diploma courses in aeronautical engineering, airport operations, general aviation piloting, electrical and electronics engineering, computer science and IT, hotel and catering, travel and tourism, journalism and mass communication, business management, supplies management, community development, clearing and forwarding, secretarial, CPA and ATC programs. Visit our campuses in Meru, Nairobi, Kisumu, Nakuru, Mombasa, Eldoret and Kitale. Our courses are IATA approved. Nairobi Aviation College. Profession is power.
The boiling point mix.
Active Sounds DJ.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, this DJ is awesome.
Crossing over.
Activate.
Leg on the wine, dance with Christ like a sun you want shine. Active sounds, them sister you want shine. Your biggest, baddest songs, that on the era. Make it good and bendy.
Okay. So we are back. You know, Collins, I'm getting to know you, and during the break you've been playing good music, and now we are back with coffee. And you can just see our cool logos, because I'm loving. Thank you very much, producer, for having this on. Thank you very much. We were getting used to those green and blue caps that I personally love, but then they're not so good on camera. So we are loving these on. We are having these ones now that are fantastic. Yes, Collins has cried about his coffee. It's only that we didn't forget. Yeah, well, we didn't forget.
It's okay.
Now it's here.
Yeah, Nairobi's cold.
We've been discussing a lot with you over the break, and you've been showing me, some of the things that you've been learning. And you've told me you're learning your own guitar. Yeah. Can you please tell us about that? Teaching yourself how to play a guitar. I am horrible at playing the guitars. My fingers cannot even go to the right chords. I know chords in my mind. I can't play them. Yeah, just take us through the learning process.
I have a friend of mine called, if you watch TPF, the last one, was it 5 or 6? 6. He's here. He's called Elisha. He is a really good friend of mine, and he taught me, he encouraged me to play guitar, so I used to go to his place, chill out, and I used to see whatever he was holding, and then when he leaves the guitar there, I just try to do something, whatever. I'm like, hey, yo, dude, what was that? It's like, hey, that was the C, and then G, and then D. Then from that, after a month,
but then I feel like it's all about interest.
If I learned how to play guitar, everyone will play guitar.
Anybody can play the guitar. Have you met Michael Mwikamba, you guys?
Yeah, I've met him.
Because I try, it looks like very complicated arithmetic to me. It looks so easy when you see somebody do it. Yeah. Like when you decide to hold it. Can you hold a G note? Like a G.
It's like this.
A G, the chords to G. Yes, and that is G, people. It looks so easy because it looks like he's just bent his fingers.
Can you just see whatever I'm holding? You have a guitar at home? Now let us take it. Now,
yes.
Lesson 1. I'm a horrible teacher, by the way. So you are, is this called index, small finger?
Yes, yes,
small fingers on the 3rd fret.
Yes, you'll have to tell us what the frets are, because
this is the frets are this one, 1, 2, 3, there. And then what is this called? Which finger?
This is the chanda. What do we call it? The marriage finger.
Yeah,
we call it that.
Yeah, chanda, English.
Let's call it marriage finger.
Marriage finger. You're funny. On the
middle finger.
On the 3rd fret, but on the top string.
Oh yeah, it's the 4th finger. Yes, 4th finger.
And then the middle finger on the 2nd fret, which is this, but on the 2nd string from top. And then
that is which chord?
This is a G.
That's a G. So lesson 101, people, do it yourself. That's a G. If you can trace it, that is G.
Yeah. You want to learn more?
I can't accumulate all that. Let me just stick to G. But then you can show us something else, because you'll have to to move through progressions.
For me, let me say it. How I taught myself is a G, E minor, and then a C.
They'll all look the same
and
to
then
me.
D. That's how I learned how to play guitar with those 4 chords, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I started with the G, and then E minor. So the middle finger and the 4th finger, you say?
Yes.
They go all together on the same fret. The 2nd fret, but they hold 2 strings.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then.
So that is lesson 101. Remember, on Arise Africa. And right now I'm being told that we are having traffic feeds. So would you mind looking at traffic and just getting to discuss it now that we have the feeds? Yes, that is Uhuru Highway roundabout that connects Uhuru Highway and Waiyaki Way and Lower State House Road. That is the St. Paul's Chapel. So if anybody has been to Nairobi and has been to Uhuru Highway, that is the road you're talking about. You can see traffic from Waiyaki Way is moving. Pedestrians were trying to cross on Waiyaki Way, crossing to the University Way side. But then you can see traffic is moving slowly. It's not stuck. It's just moving slowly. It hasn't accumulated much. I guess people are not driving so much at this hour. But then it's normally very packed at this hour. People are not driving much, and you can see on this side, it's clear. It's clear. It's actually very clear on Uhuru Highway, the road going to Waiyaki, where there's literally no car on that lane. That is fantastic. The best day to drive. Yeah, if I had a car to drive. It's the best day to drive. And you can also see the road leading to Waiyaki, where you only have like four vehicles passing. If the roads could be like this every day, it would be fantastic. It would take me 5 minutes to get to town. That is the traffic on traffic. Remember, the person on my camera, behind that camera, is Inonda, Emmanuel Inonda. He is a pro with live feed and giving me live connection. He always gives me up to date. And you can see vehicles trying to make their way through from University Way, going to Lower Status and Nyerere Road. That is Nyerere Road, that connects with Lower Status. That is Nyerere Road. On Nairobi, giving you traffic live as they come on our studios. Did you find traffic in the morning when moving? What time did you leave the house?
I left the house at around some few minutes to 6.
There's no traffic.
And I live along Super Highway. So
you just had to tell us Super Highway. But then I also come from Thika Road, so it's fantastic. It's a fantastic. It was free in the morning. With the time we get here, it's so free and so nice. That is the traffic. I'm loving how it's all coming out. And this is Arise Africa, always keeping you up to date. That is the traffic. And I can't remember to thank the people who are always giving me shout outs on me. And now we have Christine Mwai on Facebook. I can see you, I can see you. You're telling me good, nice, healthy tips. Thank you so much with the hashtag Arise Africa. Thank you so much for keeping it Arise Africa. We do appreciate your feedback. We do appreciate good feedback. And you can ask Collins any question you feel like asking. He's here for us, giving us new music. And, the person behind my camera always giving me a fantastic shot. That was Emmanuel Inonda. Yeah. Now we are going digital. We are doing everything live. We're doing everything live, growing every day. Yeah. So, Collins, which is one of your best written song? Every artist has one of those. I've been told.
Okay, my best written song. Okay, people are our fans fear in the band, because most of the songs I write goes to fear in the band, because that's my family. So we have this song called Sindio, and Sindio, people love that song. But as for now, that's not my all-time favorite. So sad. People really love. I do not know. It's just something you have to connect to the song. I really love the song. People love the song, but you have all-time favorite. Yeah. And
that is your all-time favorite?
That is my all-time favorite.
What is your all-time favorite?
It's called In the Air.
In the Air?
Yeah, it's new. Guys have not heard that song. Only we have performed that song only once in a gig. Yeah.
In
so
the Air.
In the Air is still
exciting. Will you do a snippet for us later?
Yeah, sure, I will do it.
Yeah, because it's all about, like, when you have a singer in set, it's always to refresh and tell guys, you can do things acoustic and you can have your talent either way. Because I believe that, creative writing is part of what, good writing is all about. It's a part of creative minds. When you have good material, when you write good chords, when you draft down fantastic chords for you, it is one of the best thing that you can do creatively. And I'm pretty sure, like, it feels really nice when you walk on the streets and someone tells you, hey, Collins, I saw your show the other time, it was fantastic. I saw you last time and you were doing this show on Alliance and it was fantastic. It really feels so good when somebody appreciates what you do. And, just telling us some of the things you do, you're kind of withdrawn in nature. Do you transfer, like, your withdrawal self? Do you transfer it on paper? Because most of the people I know are so withdrawn when it comes to, they're speaking, they're so soft spoken. I happen to be a very loud person. I usually tell guys I'm actually the loudest person you'll ever meet. I tell that all the time. But then sometimes it's just good to be heard and making sure that you're being heard there, commanding and saying, hey, I'm having this in my mind and I'm not afraid to show it. And talking about talent and creativity, Arise Africa always has this platform called the Good Vibes. The Good Vibes is fantastic because you see a compilation, you meet compilation every day of people doing interesting renditions to already done songs, and I've decided to just concentrate the guys doing, creative things from Africa, taking interesting renditions from, from Africa. And there's this guy called Alex Boy. He caught my attention. He caught my attention doing his own rendition to a Miley's song. fantastic. To Lord. Fantastic. To Lord's Royals. Everybody has had that.
I love that song.
His rendition is fantastic. Check this out on Good Vibes. This is Arise Africa. Remember, keep the conversation going on Aviation TV Kenya, on Facebook at Aviation TV Kenya, on Twitter, hashtag Arise Africa. We go on Good Vibes. You know, enjoy that tune. We will be enjoying it inside here.
Sure, we will.
I'd never seen a diamond in the flesh. I caught my teeth on wedding rings in the movies. And I'm not proud of my address. Hey. In the torn up town, no postcard envy. But every song is like gold teeth, grey goose dripping in the bathroom, blood stains, bald guts, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams. And everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We're not caught up in your love affair. And we will never be royal. It don't run in our blood. That kind of love just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. And let me be your ruler. You can be my queen bee. Baby, I rule. Let me live that fantasy. Yep. My friends and I, we've cracked the code. We count our dollars on the train to the party. And everyone that knows us knows that we're fine with this. We didn't come from money. But every song is like gold teeth, grey goose dripping in the bathroom, blood stains, bald guts, trash in the hotel room. We don't care. We're driving Cadillacs in our dreams. And everybody's like crystal, Maybach, diamonds on your timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a gold leash. We don't care. We're not caught up in your love affair. And we will never be royal. It don't run in our blood. That kind of love just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. So let me be your ruler. And you can be my queen bee. Baby, I rule. Let me live that fantasy. Oh, hey, oh yeah, oh, yep, ha. Oh, yeah. Cadillacs in our dreams, and we will never be royal. It don't run in our blood. That kind of love just ain't for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. And let me be your ruler. I can be your king bee. Baby, I rule. So let me live that fantasy.
Get over Alex Boy, you guys.
Really,
Have you
good.
seen that kind of creativity, the kind of energy that comes to that guy?
Yeah, first when he did the other song,
Paradise. We've done that show now. We've done that rendition on our previous show. He is fantastic. I can't get over Alex Boys. And then his energy. I don't get his expressions though. He's so vigorous. He's, you know, but then he feels the song. Yeah. I think that is what draws most of us who watch him and follow him, you know, religiously, you know. That's what gets us going because of his expressions and his energy and his interesting rendition, because you can see he had an African flag on his face, but then doing royals and with a funny crown with the Christmas. That is the eucalyptus. What tree is that?
I think.
No, it's not eucalyptus. It's another Christmas tree. Yeah. Whatever we call it. It's chamomile eucalyptus. It's on one of those toothpaste, whatever. Yes. So that tree. He has it on as a crown and says we're never going to be royals, and he's beating himself. It's just fantastic. What did you feel about, you know, royals and that rendition? Because Lord has done it. Yeah. Everybody knows the Lord version, but then did you know the Alex Boyes version?
To this one, honestly, I did not know.
Yeah, actually, if I want to ask the viewer at home, that was Alex Boy. How do you think That was fantastic, Alex
Yeah,
Boy.
that was
It was
awesome.
fantastic. So you also love creativity and renditions. Have you done interesting renditions that we can find anywhere?
No, not really. I'm not that. I'm not a YouTube person. That's so
Why?
weird to say.
YouTube should be your home.
Yeah, it should be my home. That's why I have the other three goons who really love.
Who are always on YouTube.
They love they're always on YouTube.
That is fantastic. You know, I'm enjoying I'm enjoying knowing you, and you know, in your silent way, you have a lot of content in your mind that is sharing us different stories, because it's all about your stories. So right now we go on habits. Habits, it's a segment we usually feature the behaviors in society, good or bad. And in habits today, it was all about chewing. Those people, have you ever seen those people chew and eat, talk and chew at the same time? They're like, you guy, the last time you were here, you just decided to and then it's just disturbing noise. It's not good. If you meet that kind of guy when you are trying to enjoy your kuku in the restaurant, it just distorts your whole day. What do you think about such habits? We'll go on habits, on a habit break, but when we come back, he's going to his performance lunch, so I'm just going to let him do his thing and just feed us with, you know, good vibrations this morning. I love the way we're going to have this. I'm so excited about it. But then before that, we're going to have our habit segment. Just give me a shout out and tell me about it. Aviation TV Kenya on Facebook at Aviation TV Kenya, on Twitter, hashtag Arise Africa. Give us a shout and tell us what you think. But right now, you guys, and then we're also going to have, you know, healthy tips. So it's good vibes. It's not we've just done good vibes. So it's, you know, habits. You get to do that and talk about it. Healthy tips. Talk about it. Then we're going to have so much more before we go on, you know, performance lounge.
Hi guys, my name is Collins from Fee and the Band, PHR and the Band, and this is Aviation TV. The song I'm going to do right now, it's called Helena. It's a kind of a true story, so you enjoy the song, okay? Hey, oh, 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 oh. Da 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 oh, oh, oh. Chagula penzi ni moyo, macho msaidizi wake. Ningekuandikia barua pepe ama nikununulie maua pekee, lakini ujasiri ndio sina kukuambia vile mimi nakupenda, lakini wimbo nitakuandikia wimbo, lakini wimbo nitaimba vile mimi nahisi. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina mali nakupenda Helena. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina pesa nakupenda Helena. Helena, 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 hata kama sina mali nakupenda Helena. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina pesa nakupenda Helena. Helena. Kisa na maana wekuenda niambie, kama ni dhabu kwa penzi nikupatie, ungesema utakacho ningeuka mito kwako wewe tu Helena, lakini wimbo nimekuandikia wimbo, lakini wimbo ninaimba vile mimi nahisi. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina mali nakupenda Helena. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina pesa nakupenda Helena. Helena, 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 hata kama sina mali nakupenda Helena. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina pesa nakupenda Helena. Helena. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina mali nakupenda Helena. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina pesa nakupenda Helena. Helena, 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 hata kama sina mali nakupenda Helena. Helena, Helena, hata kama sina pesa nakupenda Helena. Helena. Labda mtondoko chelewa haupo, labda mtondoko chelewa haupo, labda mtondoko chelewa haupo, labda mtondoko chelewa haupo. Yeah, I hope you like that one. Yeah, to my other song. It's called In the Air. This is my all-time favorite song. Yeah, You have to you have to feel love in the air. Spread love and no hate. No hate. Usichukie mtu, sawa. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, some of us are feeling untalented in the house.
Yeah,
but then that was fantastic. How do you get all that voice out like that? Because it's strange how when you talk you're I'm all chilling in it.
No.
This is my next song. Then you decide you're going to In the Air for us. That was fantastic. Thank you very much, Collins. We appreciate. That is so much talent. So much. Keep growing it.
Yeah.
Never give. Just keep growing it. I know you're working pretty hard because evidently you cannot sound like that if you sleep till 11 and do nothing about your singing.
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day. Yeah. You'll grow hoarse. I even talk 8 hours a day, and I'm the loudest talker.
If you love something, you do.
If you love something, you do it. Touche.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Collins. I'm still in your performance lounge, in your lounge. This is your space, but then I'll be intruding because Inonda has traffic for us, and we'll just catch up with how the traffic looks right now.
Traffic.
Wow. So that is the traffic. If you can have it, that looks like Uhuru. Haile Selassie, Uhuru Highway going through Haile Selassie. That's the roundabout near railways. No, that is the roundabout near railways. I'm trying to see if you can, tilt it so that you can have a clear view. But then I'm guessing he wants to have a long range like that. That is Uhuru Highway. You can see there's traffic's 9 up. It looks so dark, and yet it's 9. And the other side doesn't seem to be moving. The road that's actually leading to this, the road that's leading to this side, to the road that's actually leading to Uhuru Highway. It looks pretty nice, and they can see the lights are green, but then no car is moving. I guess there is the police on that side.
Yeah,
there is the police manning that traffic. That's why it's very controlled. It's very nice. I like the way the traffic nowadays is in Nairobi. Seems very controlled, and wow. For anybody going to Mombasa Road, anybody who wants to go to Mombasa Road, please look for another route.
Yeah.
Because that traffic looks like it's building up. Look for another route. If you're watching us, get a chopper. That is what you need to do. Or look for another route. But then it looks like the traffic will release soon, because evidently on the other side there's not so much traffic. That means they're manning it so well. This is actually Kenyatta Highway. It's so foggy at there. Uhuru Highway, the junction between Kenyatta, the red is on Kenyatta Highway. I know that road from that view. It looks really nice. We're getting those live feed from Nairobi. Remember, we are live, from that seems to be that looks to be really good and cozy about this. I'm kind of worried of how it's holding that camera to get those live feed. It looks to be on a very high point in this city. That's the good thing about Inonda. He always surprises me with new things. Like right now, I have no idea how he's standing that. But then that is good traffic. You can see traffic updates. Or that is St. Paul's. That is St. Paul's. Nyerere Road, Lower Status Road, going to Uhuru Highway is stuck now.
University Way.
Cars have just built up. I think we told them there's no vehicle on that road. Everybody went there. It looks really nice. We have lorries, trailers, small cars. It doesn't discriminate. This highway actually allows for buses and trailers, because it's just about that. That's St. Paul's. The traffic update. That looks to be Bukinya. I think that's Bukinya bus. You can have people are driving.
These things.
Yeah, I know my city. I don't know all of it, but then I know my city. I know my city. That looks really nice. The traffic seems to be moving. I guess they've been queued to move towards Uhuru Highway, University Way, and back to Uhuru Highway. The roundabout is clear. I can see vehicles from Lower Status Road, and this one is moving now. The Uhuru Highway is moving now. This is Uhuru Highway. The other one was Waiyaki Way. Uhuru Highway is moving now, but slowly. I guess people are confused in which lane to take. People are still switching lanes, but then we're all about that live, giving you live updates straight from Nairobi, live, Arise Africa. The premiere. There's no other show that gets better than this. Surprises every day. Surprises every day. So thank you very much, Collins, for for just obliging and coming to my show, and just telling them, right now it's your show because I'm in your lounge. I feel like I'm intruding a lot. But then before we can still sing, we'll do that after. Or we can do an interesting rendition of like 2 lines of Redemption song, since I love that song. Do you know the Redemption song?
I do not know Redemption song, but I have another song.
You do not know the Redemption song? Sad story.
We can do another song.
We can do another song.
Yeah.
Like a snippet, just not a whole song, like 3 lines before I end this show, and thank the people who actually make this thing happen.
There's this song I like. Value. It's called like.
See the value, baby. No, I'm to it. I try to value, darling. See the value, baby. No, I'm to it.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. We are having the scrolls on the line. That was Collins Kemboy at Kolo PNTB on Twitter and Collins Kemboy on Facebook. If you can have it. Thank you there. I have them back. Collins Kemboy is our guest. We have Collins Kemboy on Facebook and at Kolo PNTB on Twitter. Get the conversation and meet him. I'd like to thank special people who actually make this happen. Yes, there's Alex Munyao, the man you're seeing behind my camera, and Kefa Mito, the other guy behind my camera. They always try to make me look fantastic. to make me look good on this side. And my directors, we have got Sefu on the editing suite. We've got Kevin. They know them because they've been saying hi all the time. And you know, the people who actually make my editing happen. There's Immaculate, there's Raphael, there's a whole Arise Africa team. There's Rose, there's everybody who make these things happen. And the man who always have my love feeds on camera is Emmanuel Inonda. You can see Arise Africa is a success of so many people. You only get to see my face every morning, but then there's a lot of work, a lot of effort being put into this behind the scene. So we are all about that life. And we thank you for your feedbacks on Facebook. Thank you for your feedbacks on Twitter. Thank you so much, B4C. Thank you so much, Christine Mwai. Keep it here. And so many people who've liked the page. If I can read the name, these names are so hard. If I can read some of the names on Facebook, with the hashtag Arise Africa, you know, there's B4C Kenya, and so many people are liking our post. There's Edu Kikat Ngash, there's Anthony Kamau, so many people liking our post. Thank you so much for keeping it Arise Africa. Right now, we would like to go on a feature. Let's to indicate people. It's an interesting story about Kibra, Nairobi, but then it's a different twist about it. You only see it on Arise Africa this morning. Until next time, that is tomorrow. More Arise Africa tomorrow, more surprises tomorrow. I don't like saying on a sad note because I have a chance to see you guys tomorrow. So adios and see you tomorrow on Arise Africa. Keep watching the rest of the programming.
Yeah.
This is Kibera. It is 5 kilometers from the center of the Kenyan capital of Nairobi. It is widely accepted as being the world's largest slum. Its area is approximately 2.5 square kilometers, and the population is somewhere between 750,000 and 1 million. Nobody is really sure. Whatever the estimates, one thing is certain. Conditions on the ground are like nothing you've ever seen before. Waste and refuse are virtually everywhere you look. Sanitation is virtually non-existent, and open sewers flow down almost every alleyway. Children play amidst squalor and contaminated watercourses. The stench is overpowering, and not surprisingly, disease is rife. Around 20% of children die before the age of 5, and close to 60% of the adult population are HIV positive. The average family lives in a single-room shack and survives on the equivalent of around 85 pence per day. Most children will only eat one basic meal per day. In short, it is the scene of some of the worst poverty and most appalling living conditions on our planet.
You look behind me, you look at... That's just insane. This is like 40 years of rubbish built up. And the kids are sometimes playing in the water, you know, this is sewage. They shouldn't even be in this water. It's insane, you know.
Yet despite all this, Kibera is an active, vibrant community. With places to buy groceries, get a takeaway, or get your hair done. Life goes on with apparent normality. It's only when you look closer that you see the reality. These men are digging in an open sewer. They're searching for old nails and screws that they can sell. This is the local hardware store where everything is recycled. This man sells odd shoes and is mending a pair of flip-flops. But the people of Kibera are not looking for handouts. The majority retain a sense of dignity and a desire to make something of their lives. A tiny charity called Kibera in Need, or KIN for short, is helping to make this possible. This film is about the work that they do there. Monica is 70 years old, and even in a world where hardship is the norm, her circumstances are truly exceptional. Monica's entire home is a tiny space, only 6 feet by 8 feet.
How are you, Monica? How many children live with you here, Monica?
Nauliza mnakaa na watoto ngapi hapa? Ni 9 kama hawajachukua wengine. She's saying that she has 9 children here. Ni wachukuu yangu. Ni wajukuu. Ni kutoka kwa familia zenu. Ni wachukuu wangu wa vijana. Okay. She is saying that those are the grandchildren from our own children, our own sons.
Her sons, yeah.
Some of them are alive and others are not alive.
Yeah. And Monica, where do the children sleep at night?
Unauliza watoto wanalala wapi usiku? Tuonyeshe inue hiyo kitambaa waone nataka kuona.
Wanalala tu hapa, tunalala hapa wengine.
They say that some sleep
na
here.
Wengine ni hapa tu.
Others sleep here.
Imefika hii.
She brings the mat on the floor and the mattress on the floor, so they sleep inside here.
Where do you cook the food for the children?
Unauliza unapikianga wapi?
Hapa.
This is where she cooks. The food prepares food for the children by the use of the charcoal.
How does Monica manage to buy food for this family and to pay the rent?
Unaulizwa unalipanga hii rent namna gani?
Hii rent
na kununua chakula.
Niseme tu Mungu ako na mimi.
She is saying that she only depends on the food that comes from King through riziki that is given on a weekly basis. That's what she is able to depend on.
When it rains, what happens in this house?
Wanakuuliza saa hii kulikuwa kunanyesha? Kulikuwa kunatendeka aje kwa hii nyumba?
Nyumba hii inanyeshewa. Hata
kuonyesha bali kunanyesha vile kunanyesha?
Inanyesha hapa tumeweka makaratasi na iwezi. Inanyesha huku wote.
Whenever I look at that, she said that on top there, she has covered, you can see some mosquitoes from there. There's some water that is up there. That when it rains, that the house becomes very wet. The bed where the children are sleeping, and that's why she has used those polythene papers to be able to cover.
Hata hapa hivi kama inanyesha huwezi kaa.
Yeah, even here you cannot sit down here when it rains.
Yeah. And sometimes on the floor.
And the floor becomes wet.
Yeah. And
and then she's also saying that when it rains, they all stand. They cannot sleep because now the floor is wet. So all of them they stand and start now waiting up until morning.
Asante.
Yeah.
Hata mimi nashukuru.
Rehousing Monica and her family is one of KIN's highest priorities.
Sina malipo, lakini malipo ni ya Mungu.
She's saying that she's very happy that and very privileged that she happened to meet me because she doesn't know where she could be now if she never met me. That's I was able, through you. She's able to. The children are able to learn, and life is better now. Yeah, she really thanks God for that because we just met within the slum.
Yes.
One of the most amazing things about Kibera is the children. Many have never seen their own reflection, so our cameras were a source of great interest. There are hundreds of thousands of them, and despite the conditions that they have to live in, most seem remarkably happy. This may well be because they have never known anything different, and it certainly isn't the life that you would choose for your own child. For children, the only way out of the slums is through education. To stand any chance of getting what could be classed as a proper job, it is essential to have a certificate of secondary education. Without this, about the best that can be hoped for is casual labour and day-to-day subsistence living. Schools do exist in and around Kibera, but it costs money to go to them. When money is so limited, the priorities are rent and food. Education is the first thing to go. School places are limited, and if fees are not forthcoming, eventually the children are asked to leave. One of the most tangible ways that Kibera in Need has effect is through its guardianship scheme, where a sponsor in the UK pledges to fund the education of a child in Kibera. This money covers school fees, uniform, shoes, books, vaccinations, medical care, and a hot meal 6 days a week. 11-year-old Dan has just been accepted onto the scheme. The Manchester United shirt is a gift from his sponsors in the UK, and he hasn't taken it off since he got it. His younger brother is called Ibrahim, and collecting water is one of the daily tasks that they have to perform.
Sometimes we are eating one times in a day, and sometimes my father will not have money for paying for us for school fees.
When you don't go to school, what do you do?
I just take my book and read.
You read at home?
Yes.
Do you have to help your dad? You have jobs, chores to do?
Yes.
What do you have to do?
Washing utensils.
Yeah.
And washing clothes. Sometimes I cook for him.
This is the one-roomed house where the three of them live and sleep in one bed. Abraham has yet to find a sponsor. Until now, that is.
It was lovely a couple of days ago when I was able to tell Dan that he had a sponsor for school.
Nasema kwamba hizi vilikuwa hapa na kuelezea ndani ya kwamba amepata sponsor.
But when I came, we didn't have a sponsor for Ibrahim.
Na wakati tulikuja hatukuwa na sponsor ya Ibrahim. Ibrahim hakuwa sponsor msidi.
But now, Ibrahim, we do have a sponsor for you as well.
Ibrahim umpata sponsor sasa.
Yes.
So yeah. Sema thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And your sponsor, as we have a few things that have come for you because we didn't have a parcel for you last time.
Yes.
It may not look like much, but you have just witnessed the life of a child being changed beyond recognition. And the cost of this transformation? £20 per month.
In here, but it will be difficult for me to get it out.
It's not the end of going to fetch water for Dan and Ibrahim, but they now have a real chance of a life outside the slums. The kin guardianship programme is administered on the ground by a local charity called Riziki Kenya. It is staffed by a dedicated team which go and work in the slum on a daily basis.
For the few years that I've worked with Riziki, I've seen total transformation from the children, and basically I can testify and say yes that the children are doing well. Many families have many children, and some of the children, they never used to go to school, but now, since kin came through Riziki, many children have been able to go to school and have been able to access basic care like food, medical support, and also the uniforms, books, and the rest of the things that come with the kindergarten program.
Working with a local organisation like Riziki means that KIN's efforts and resources are targeted in areas where they are most needed.
At Riziki we work with orphans and vulnerable children and their caregivers. We try to empower these children to achieve their maximum potential in life. We believe that these orphans and vulnerable children have a lot of talent and gifts, natural gifts, that can be developed so that these children can be able to live fulfilled lives. So in partnership with the KIN, we provide these children with education. We also feed the children at school with hot lunch. We also feed them at feeding centers during the week. We are very grateful for the work that KIN is doing in raising resources that come to feed these children. These resources also come to empower the caregivers in a business development scheme where they are empowered to begin small businesses and given capacity to sustain them so that they can be able to feed their children. We are also doing community health programs, HIV and AIDS programs with the children and with the community at large. We are involved in youth mentorship and vocational training. And again, this is very good because youth who have not been able to continue with the school or who have not been able to get school fees to be able to complete, we help them access vocational training so that they are equipped with the skills that they can use for their own lives.
Kibera in Need also helps adults through its micro-business program. KIN patron Misha Paris is meeting a group of women that make beads from old magazines.
Yeah, you see, I'm getting loose again, you see.
They cut long triangular strips of paper which are rolled and glued to create individual beads.
Then you put the glue on. Okay, go on, you do the rest because I'm doing it.
These strings of beads are then dipped in clear varnish and allowed to dry.
You put it round it like that. Right. How long does it take you to make one of these? Just one?
One.
Yeah, how long it take? Time? How much time it take?
You roll it 1 day. You roll this one.
Yes.
Then you
leave it to set.
Yeah.
Leave to set.
Yeah. After finish, then you.
The beads are sold within Kibera, but KIN also brings them into the UK where they are sold in charity shops and fair trade outlets.
Okay. So which is my one? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, hers is much better. But what do you think? This is my one.
You've tried.
Thanks, that was very subtle. She said you've tried. Nice. Nice one. Great. Yeah.
Solomon and his brothers have a business making charcoal briquettes from old paper and charcoal dust.
This is briquettes. Briquettes is a mixture of peppers and charcoal dust. And also it's very economic for people of Kibera to use, especially people of Nairobi. Because we are making only 3, after getting dry, only 3 is enough for making lunch or supper. And each we are selling 6 bob, 6 shillings. So it's very economical and it's very good for people of Kibera.
As a program in Riziki, Kenya, we offer training basically to help the beneficiaries have the skills to be entrepreneurs who will be able to do different businesses and gain that economic capacity to progress in life. So training is very key to us. We also offer seed capital after the training, which is meant to help them either start off businesses or upscale the enterprises that they are running. In the event where an individual feels he or she can start an enterprise using those skills as an individual, we are there to support them and build them up so that they can run those businesses. We have evidence of people who have left Kibera and gone out there to do businesses elsewhere after outgrowing our services, and that is our joy.
For visitors, Kibera creates a number of mixed emotions. Estelle Goodwin, the founder of KIN, tries to describe what makes Kibera so unique.
I think it's the resilience of the people. The people live in very difficult conditions in Kibera, but their humanity and their spirit stays very strong. And they retain a sense of humour too. I struggle sometimes to think whether I would be able to be as strong as the people there are in such conditions. Our goals for the children are that they will be able to go to school, they'll go through their primary and their secondary school, and if possible we help them with some vocational training at the end, and they'll be able to become self-supporting young adults. We know that without education they stand no chance of getting any formal employment, and they will be in the informal sector and probably struggling to support themselves and any families that they have. For the caregivers, we also want to give them opportunities as well to try and earn some income for their families. So we work with Riziki Kenya in microfinance by providing loans so that the ladies and the other caregivers can start a small business, and we work closely to help them so that those businesses can earn an income.
Every Saturday, KIN and Riziki run a feeding session where hundreds of children get a hot meal. When there are visitors from England, it is a cause for great celebration, which everyone joins in with. Local women from the community prepare the food. Meanwhile, Misha spends time with some of the children. When the festivities are over, it's time for the main event. For many of the children, this one meal will be as much food as they have to eat as for the entire rest of the week. The portions are huge, but even the smallest children eat everything. It may look like there are a lot of kids here, but it is just a tiny fraction of all the children in Kibera. With more funding, Kin and Riziki could reach out to so many more. For the most needy families, food packages to help sustain them through the week are also distributed.
It's really amazing. This is feeding day on a Saturday, and all I can say, once you see the looks on their faces when they start eating the food, it's amazing. It's just really emotional. It's quite an emotional moment, really, because you know that every day they probably only have like a meal. Even, I mean, if they're lucky, they have a meal. Usually they have like just a bit of corn to get them through the day. And Saturday is the feeding day. This is the only day they get a full meal. And it's just you know, the looks on their faces, they're really happy. They're just, and it's nice to see them like that. It's, the only thing is you kind of wish you could do it every day, you know, but it's great.
When visitors from overseas come to Kibera, it is customary to bring sweets and small gifts for the children. For many of them, this is the only time that they get to taste candy, so it's not surprising they are happy to queue up for it.
Dangerous as well, isn't it? You think, like, if you make one wrong step.
On a visit to Kibera, Kin patron Misha Paris met with Jimmy Gate, a Kenyan celebrity who has had a lot of involvement with Riziki and the slums.
When I saw what's happening here, when I came here the first time with Riziki Kenya, trust me, I was moved in my spirit. And I wanted to be part of a transformation of a life. Because I believe that people who live here, you can see how it looks. Life here is so hard. Even to get food to eat is really hard. We have to make a difference to all these people, to all these children, to all the people that live here and make their lives better. So we hope and we pray that God is going to touch a whole lot of people who can come and join us to do this, because this is a great initiative, not for us, but for all these people, for Kenyans and the world at large. Gotta make the world a better place. This place gotta be a better place.
Nicholas explains to Misha something of the day-to-day living expenses within Kibera.
They have to buy that as well. So how much is a bucket of that for one house? 40 shillings.
40 shillings is about 30 pence. Most families survive on around 120 shillings per day.
Right, 15 litres. Then you've got to buy that. Then you've got to buy food.
Pay a house rent?
Pay rent too.
Yes.
Right.
And the children need to go back to school and pay some fees.
So there must be a lot of dehydration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kibera is not like a famine or a natural disaster. It is an ongoing situation which will only get worse without intervention. Hundreds of thousands of people live amidst unimaginable conditions. Kin founder Estelle Goodwin sums up what motivates her to keep working for Kibera.
Once you've seen the people living as they do, you cannot go back to your comfortable life and your comfortable home and do nothing about it. It's not possible to forget.
As for the children, they live amidst some of the worst poverty on earth. And yet their spirit is incredible. Kibera is full of laughter and smiles, But that's not an excuse to do nothing. Think about that life-changing moment and be a part of it. To find out how you can make a difference, please visit www.kiberainneed.org.